Welcome to Energy Careers, a segment of the Energy Conversations podcast dedicated to exploring opportunities in the dynamic world of the energy sector. For 13 years, I've had the privilege of navigating this sector, and it has significantly shaped my professional and entrepreneurial journey. Join me as we uncover exciting pathways for those interested in making their mark in this exciting sector. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Energy Careers segment of the Energy Conversations podcast, where we spotlight the diverse career opportunities within the South African energy sector and hear from professionals across various disciplines. Whether you are just starting out or looking to transition into the energy industry, this segment is designed to provide you with valuable insights and guidance. Today, we will be hearing from Naniki Nzuza and Vuyolwethu Matiwane energy career journeys as they share their experiences and offer advice on navigating the South African energy landscape. Let's dive into the pathways that can help shape your career in this exciting and evolving field. Naniki, if I can start with you, please could you share a bit about your energy journey? How did you get involved in the energy sector? What did you study? And what has been your career path up until this point?
Thank you so much, Toko. So it's been an interesting one where as a young student studying matric out in the north of Pretoria, I was interested in maths and biology at the time, not giving away my age. But as I was researching careers of where I will do when I finish matric, I came across the career of biomedical engineering, which is really only offered at postgrad level. At the time, the two universities, Stellenbosch and Cape Town, popped up in my research at least, and I needed to do an undergrad, and it was almost a lucky choice that I chose electrical engineering. I got offered a bursary with Eskom distribution. And as they say, the rest is history. So I had to do my obligation with Eskom, starting out as a young engineer. And the primary of my career in Eskom was in network operations, looking at the power system, ensuring security of supply to customers within the Western Cape and a part of the Northern Cape. And when the renewable projects started, I also rolled my sleeves and dug into that and was fascinated about sustainable energy. And that's where my renewable energy career, I would say, started. And follow on to that, then I moved and I guess pivoted into the developer space, and which is where I am now with Mainstream Energy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Vuyo, what has been your career journey? How did you get involved in the energy sector? What did you study? And what has been your career path up until this point?
I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but my path is similar to Naniki's. In matric, did I know what I was going to study? I can't say I'm exactly sure that I knew then that I would end up in electrical engineering, in the engineering space, let me put it like that. But I think around probably the time that I was in varsity, I was a dedicated student and got as lucky as Naniki, and I was awarded a bursary by Eskom. As studying electrical engineering at CPUT, which is the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. So I did my national diploma there and got the opportunity to be awarded the bursary by Eskom. And after finishing my studies, similar to Naniki's story, I joined Eskom and served my in-service training period. And soon after that, I think a year after the in-service training, I was lucky enough to be appointed permanently within the asset creation department at Eskom, specifically under the IPP program. And we were basically a team of, I think back then we were a team of 4. That was working on the round one projects within the Western Cape and Northern Cape operating unit. And the role was basically to manage the integration and connection of these projects onto the Eskom grid. So doing a lot of project management. I was a student at night and an employee during the day, as I, in parallel, did my BTech in electrical engineering with the University of South Africa. So I was multitasking and trying to manage my time along those two tasks that I had. And I think I spent about 5 years, 6.5 years at Eskom within the renewable energy program. So I was there from bid window 1 up until I think before financial close or just after financial close of bid window 4 projects. And that is when I left the utility and joined the IPP space. So I've been in the industry for in the IPP space for about 6 years now. And in parallel with, again, doing my serving my my duties under my employment contracts with the different employers that I had, I embarked on a master's degree in wind energy, which I did with the Denmark Technical University, and I completed that last year. So overall, it's just been a journey of putting in the effort, studying, as well as working at the same time. It is basically only now that I'm not actively, I don't know, I'm actively learning, but I'm not registered for any, let's say, master's or further study program. I'm mainly focused on doing a great job, which I've always been, and taking a bit of a break on the studying. So that's basically how my career journey has basically been for the past probably 11 and a half years.
Sure. Very, very exciting journeys that you've both been on, and I guess it's lovely to see the similarities in it, and I guess the power that organizations like Eskom or corporates who then provide these bursaries and scholarships for young people to be able to study. I think it is in fact life-changing. It really does set you up for at least at the very least, in as much as you've both spoken of, you serve your time, but the reality is, unlike a lot of students who leave university, you left knowing that you were getting into a job. And that in itself is really such a blessing. I've got one last question for you both, and let's take it back to, you have just received your notice or the notice from Eskom that you are getting a scholarship. And yes, and it is you now, as you are today, looking at younger you. What is the piece of advice that you would give younger you, having gone through this journey that you've gone on, and what is the piece of advice you'd give her as she's reading that letter?
All right, thanks for that. It's difficult to look back, and as they say that hindsight is the best teacher. So the advice that I would give my younger self would be that seek out a mentor very early on, someone that will help you go through the reins. I definitely appreciated that I had mentors in even the managers that I had early on in my career. And also that aspect of making sure that you as an individual are actively involved in your career journey, and you're not just reliant on someone else showing you the reins, but also being inquisitive and having that spirit of wanting to grow and continual learning. And it was beautiful to hear the journey of Vuyo as well. And another aspect, which I remember when I came across that early on in my years in my career, around how you are a brand, right? Before you work for anyone else, consider yourself working for yourself, and this sets you up for how you carry yourself. This sets you up for how you show up as well in whatever workspace that you find yourself. And I think the last one is that whatever that you do in your career, even as you start out, remember that it can have lasting impact. So always be conscious of that fact that the seeds and the trees that you're building now might not necessarily be just for you, but there's others that are also going to benefit from that.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Vuyo, what advice would you give to younger you?
Yeah, it's quite an interesting question, because I think as a young female, back in the day, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for people like us, especially if we're talking about you getting into the engineering space. It's been, for the longest time, being a very male-dominated space. And for me, back then, it was a very intimidating one. So I think to give advice to my younger self from back then is to basically just believe in yourself a bit more. You can certainly do it. And remove the elements of self-doubt. And I think it's important to quite know that you belong in every room that you find yourself in. And regardless of your gender or your skin color, you belong in that room, and you put in the work, and you deserve everything that that the opportunities that you get bring to you. So it's really a matter of really trying to establish yourself as a brand, and as also trying to gain as much knowledge as you possibly can. I think Naniki did mention the point of remaining inquisitive within the field that you're actually working in. I think within the journey my career journey, I've highlighted how I have always been studying. After finishing my diploma, I continued and I did my BTech while I was working. And even after finishing my BTech, I continued and I did my master's while I was working. So these are the kind of things that help bring up that confidence, because you need the knowledge. The information never gets old, and the more you equip yourself with more knowledge, the more you're going to gain that confidence when it comes to your work and environments and rooms that you basically find yourself in. So I think it's more about just believing in yourself. You can do it just as the next person, and if you put in the effort, then everything else is really going to be as a result of what you put in. There's basically I don't know what I can call it, garbage in is garbage out. If you put garbage into something, you will get garbage out. But if you put in the effort and all the good things onto a certain situation or a process, you are likely going to get a very positive outcome. So it's really important to try and surround yourself with all the knowledge, and as well as circles like Naniki mentioned, circles of influence, getting mentors and doing the proper networking and engaging with other people within the industry to try and have access to a whole lot more things that you wouldn't necessarily have access to if you were just working in a silo. So the aspect of networking is also very important within the space. That's how you actually get to gain connections and gain a lot more knowledge to try and build yourself to where you actually want to be. So it's just a point of just believing in yourself. You can definitely do it. I think a testament of that, I grew up in a village without electricity, and I am now a very capable individual who is busy working on projects trying to electrify villages similar to where I grew up. So there's hope for everyone, and there is definitely a career for everyone and space for everyone within the renewable energy space. So, and we're always looking for a lot more people to join the industry. There's a lot more happening. I think we've covered a whole lot during our podcast. We need a lot of hands on deck to try and get all these projects on board. So a girl in a village somewhere out there needs to basically know that it's possible for her as well.
Oh man, absolutely love that. I love what you've both shared, key points around mentorship and networking. But I think also key is, be active in your journey. Be deliberate about it. Be deliberate about seeing yourself as a brand, take yourself seriously. I think that's such a key takeaway as well. And I think also to your point of, a girl from a village, I think a lot of us, we may find ourselves here in Johannesburg, Sandton, or Cape Town, or wherever you are. But the reality is we all come from a village, or a lot of us come from a village. And the fact that we can be here and the fact that we can be on these platforms and doing the work that we get to do is really a testament to the fact that it is possible. It may be difficult, it may be challenging, but it is definitely, definitely possible. And I love the point that you've made, that both of you have made, in that you've got to continuously be intentional in your professional development, whether it is studying, whether it is just reading up or continuously learning, because the actual fact is no one's born confident, but competence is actually what brings confidence. So as you grow that competency, as you develop yourself, then you will actually find the confidence to step into those rooms and to take up that space. And I think the line that I'm probably going to keep for myself post this episode is that you belong in every room that you find yourself in. It is not by accident that you are in that room. And once you are in that room, make sure that you do not waste the opportunity that you've been given. And that wraps up this edition of the Energy Careers segment. We hope that you've gained invaluable insights into opportunities and career paths within the energy sector. Remember, the energy sector is a vast one and continuously evolving, offering countless ways for you to make an impact. A big thank you again to our guests for sharing their expertise and experiences. Stay tuned in for more inspiring career stories and advice in future episodes. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing forward in your energy career journey.
Thank you for tuning into Energy Careers, where we explore the endless possibilities in the energy sector. Don't miss out on future episodes where we'll feature more inspiring journeys and insights on how to embark on your own energy career path. Subscribe now to the Energy Conversations podcast and unlock the door to exciting opportunities in the dynamic world of energy. Your journey begins here.